At 60, Johnny Depp did the unthinkable. He quit the internet completely in 2026. The Hollywood legend, who had faced every storm imaginable, walked away from social media and the constant spotlight. Fans were left wondering what happened next. Then it all changed in a coffee shop. A rude fan decided to test him, and the confrontation that erupted sent shockwaves across the globe, going viral in hours. This wasn't scripted or planned. It was real, raw, and unforgettable. Johnny Depp's response showed the man behind the movies, and it left everyone talking. Get ready, because this drama is about to unfold like never before, and you won't believe what actually went down that day. At 62, Johnny Depp had seen it all: the bright lights, the screaming crowds, the courtroom battles that nearly broke him, and the comeback that proved his strength. In early 2026, the Hollywood icon made a quiet decision that shocked fans worldwide. He quit the internet. No more Instagram posts, no cryptic tweets, no stories, no engagement at all. The man who once lived under constant public scrutiny simply vanished from the digital world. People noticed immediately. His verified accounts went silent overnight. Fans flooded comment sections asking what happened. Was it burnout from years of headlines? Was it a way to protect his peace after everything he had endured? Johnny Depp had always been private at heart, even during his peak fame with Pirates of the Caribbean. He loved his art, his music, and his family more than the noise. Turning 60 hit him differently. He wanted real life again, not filtered versions of it. Reports from close sources said he was focusing on painting, drawing, and spending time away from screens. One insider mentioned he started carrying notebooks everywhere, sketching ideas instead of scrolling. It felt like a man reclaiming his soul from the endless scroll that had defined so many careers. The decision came after a long period of reflection. The defamation trial with his ex-wife had dragged him through years of public judgment. Millions watched every detail. Social media turned into a battlefield, with opinions flying from every direction. Even after he won in court, the echoes never fully faded. Johnny Depp spoke in interviews about how exhausting it all became. The constant opinions, the memes, the pressure to respond. Quitting the internet was his way of drawing a line. He told friends he needed space to breathe, to create, without an audience watching his every move. At 62, he realized fame had given him everything and taken just as much. Stepping away was not running. It was choosing himself. Fans respected it at first. Some even praised him for setting boundaries in a world where everyone shares too much. Others wondered how long it would last. Celebrities rarely stay offline for good. Yet weeks passed and Johnny Depp remained silent online. No announcements, no teases. Just absence. That silence spoke louder than any post could. Life after quitting the internet suited him. He was spotted in small towns, walking quietly, enjoying coffee, without bodyguards hovering too close. He grew out his hair a bit, let his style go more relaxed. Painting became his main outlet again. He created wild, expressive pieces that captured emotion in raw strokes. Friends said he looked calmer, happier even. The man who once commanded red carpets now found joy in simple routines. Morning walks, strong black coffee, and hours lost in his studio. It reminded people that Johnny Depp was always more than Captain Jack Sparrow. He was a painter, a musician, a father who valued real connections over likes and views. Quitting the internet allowed him to rediscover that side. The world kept spinning with its drama and trends, but he stepped off the ride. For the first time in decades, the pressure lifted. No need to perform for cameras or craft the perfect caption. Just living. Then came the day that changed everything again. It was a crisp afternoon in a quiet European city where Johnny Depp had been staying low-key. He slipped into a small independent coffee shop known for its strong espresso and cozy corners away from tourist crowds. He wore a simple hat, sunglasses, and a worn jacket, nothing flashy, that screamed movie star. Most people did not recognize him at first. He ordered his usual black coffee and found a table near the window to sketch in his notebook. The shop felt peaceful, soft jazz playing in the background, the smell of fresh pastries filling the air. For a few minutes, it was perfect anonymity, the kind he had craved. He sipped slowly, letting his mind wander to new ideas for his next painting. Life felt balanced again. But peace never lasts long when you are Johnny Depp. A young man in his late 20s entered the shop, scrolling on his phone, looking for his own caffeine fix. He glanced around, and his eyes locked on the familiar face. At first, he doubted himself. No way that could be him. The internet said Johnny Depp was off-grid. Yet there he sat just feet away, looking relaxed and real. The fan felt a rush of excitement mixed with something else. Maybe jealousy or the urge to prove something. Instead of a polite hello or asking for a quick photo, the fan approached with a smug grin. He stood right in front of Johnny Depp's table and spoke loud enough for nearby customers to hear. "Hey, aren't you that pirate guy who got cancelled? Thought you were done with public life, or are you just hiding because you know people still remember the drama?" The words carried an edge, rude and uncalled for, referencing the old trial in a mocking tone. The shop went quiet. Heads turned. Johnny Depp looked up slowly, removing his sunglasses to meet the fan's eyes directly. The tension hung thick in the air. Customers held their breath, wondering how the legend would react. Would he snap back with anger or ignore it like so many stars do? Johnny Depp had faced worse in courtrooms and tabloids. This was just one rude stranger in a coffee shop. Yet something about the moment felt raw. Here he was trying to live normally, and the past came crashing in again through a stranger's words. The fan crossed his arms, waiting for a reaction, almost daring him. Other people whispered, already pulling out phones to record. Johnny Depp set his coffee down carefully and leaned back in his chair. His voice stayed calm, steady, with that signature gravelly tone that had charmed millions on screen. "Son, I've spent years fighting battles bigger than this moment. If you came here looking for a show, I'm afraid you picked the wrong day and the wrong man." The words landed heavy, but without raising volume. No curses, no threats, just honest truth delivered with quiet power. The fan shifted uncomfortably, clearly not expecting composure. He tried to double down, muttering something about washed-up actors and old scandals. Johnny Depp did not interrupt. He simply held eye contact, letting the silence do the work. Then he continued, speaking from the heart. "You know what I learned through all the noise? Real strength isn't yelling louder than the crowd. It's knowing when to walk away from pointless fights. I've got paintings to finish, music to play, and a life to live beyond these four walls and your opinions." The shop patron started nodding, some even clapped softly. The rude fan stood there, mouth slightly open, realizing his attempt at drama had backfired. Johnny Depp picked up his notebook, again signaling the conversation was over. But before the fan could slink away, one last line came. "And by the way, if you ever want a real talk over coffee, instead of throwing insults him around. But respect goes both ways." That simple offer of grace shifted the entire energy. What happened next spread like wildfire. One customer had discreetly recorded the exchange on their phone. The video captured every second, the rude approach, the calm response, and the powerful lesson in dignity. Within minutes, it was uploaded to social media, even though Johnny Depp himself stayed offline. The clip exploded. Millions viewed it in the first hours. Headlines screamed about the coffee shop drama. Fans defended Johnny Depp, calling him classy and unbothered. Others analyzed the fans' behavior, wondering why some people feel entitled to attack celebrities in public. The video showed Johnny Depp at his most authentic, no scripts, no agents, just a man defending his peace with words instead of fists. It reminded the world why they fell in love with him in the first place. His humanity shone through the chaos. As the clip gained traction, Johnny Depp remained unaware at first. He finished his coffee, paid quietly, and left the shop with a small nod to the barista. The owner later said he was the most polite customer they had in weeks. Outside, he walked down the street, hands in pockets, enjoying the fresh air. Back online, the internet did what it does best, turned one moment into a global conversation. People shared stories of their own encounters with rudeness and how grace changes everything. Johnny Depp's words became quotes shared in comments. "Strength isn't yelling louder. Respect goes both ways." The drama went viral because it felt real. No staged publicity stunt. Just life happening to a man who chose to step away from the spotlight, only to have it find him again in the most unexpected place. This coffee shop moment captured something deeper about Johnny Depp at 62. After years of trials and triumphs, he had evolved. Quitting the internet was not weakness. It was wisdom. Facing the rude fan showed resilience. He did not need to prove anything anymore. His legacy spoke for itself through decades of unforgettable roles, and now through this quiet stand. Fans who watched the video felt inspired. Many said it made them rethink how they treat others, especially those in the public eye. The incident humanized him even more. Johnny Depp was not some untouchable star. He was a person who drinks coffee, sketches ideas, and responds to disrespect with class. The viral video brought him back into conversations, but on his terms in a way. Even offline, his impact rippled outward. Word of the event reached his inner circle quickly. Friends texted him the link, laughing about how the internet found him anyway. Johnny Depp reportedly watched it once with a chuckle and then went back to his painting. He had no plans to comment publicly. That consistency only added to the respect. In a world full of influencers chasing clout, here was a man who walked away from it all yet still commanded attention through authenticity. The coffee shop drama became a symbol. It showed that true character reveals itself not on red carpets, but in small everyday moments when no one expects you to shine. Johnny Depp shone anyway. His calm demeanor turned a potential embarrassment into a masterclass on handling negativity. People from all walks of life related to it. We have all faced rude comments or unwanted opinions. Watching him respond gave them a new way to think about their own reactions. As days passed, the viral clip continued climbing views. News outlets picked it up, analyzing what it meant for celebrity culture in 2026. Some experts said it highlighted the downside of constant connectivity, how fans feel ownership over stars' lives. Others praised Johnny Depp for modeling emotional intelligence. He had been through hell in the public eye, yet emerged with his dignity intact. Quitting the internet now looked like the smartest move. It protected his energy while the world still got glimpses of the real him. The rude fan later apologized in his own video, claiming he was just joking and starstruck. Whether sincere or not, the damage was done, and the lesson landed. Johnny Depp's response became the part everyone remembered. This entire saga, from quitting the internet to the coffee shop confrontation, painted a full picture of a man in his prime at 62. Not the young heartthrob anymore, but a seasoned soul who values peace, creativity, and respect above all. The drama went viral because it contrasted sharply with typical celebrity scandals. No yelling, no lawsuits, just honest words in a quiet shop. Johnny Depp reminded everyone that walking away from the noise can lead to the most powerful moments. His story continues to inspire because it feels genuine. In 2026, amid all the digital chaos, he chose analog living and still ended up teaching the world a thing or two. The coffee stayed hot, the sketches continued, and the legend lived on his own terms. The video kept spreading faster than anyone expected. Within 24 hours, it had crossed 50 million views across platforms. People from every corner of the world weighed in. Some called the rude fan entitled and disrespectful, while others pointed out how social media had created a generation that felt they could say anything to anyone, especially celebrities. Johnny Depp himself stayed completely offline, just as he promised. No statement, no reaction post, nothing. That silence only fueled the conversation more. It made the moment feel even more authentic because he was not trying to capitalize on it. He simply lived through it and moved on with his day. Close friends later shared that when they showed him the clip, he just shook his head, smiled, and said something along the lines of "same old story, different coffee shop." It was classic Johnny Depp, understated and unbothered. Back in the coffee shop, the staff could not stop talking about what happened. The barista who served him that day described Johnny Depp as incredibly kind and soft-spoken. He left a generous tip and even complimented the espresso blend before walking out. The owner posted a polite thank you note on the shop's board without naming him directly, but locals knew exactly who it referred to. For that small business, the viral incident brought an unexpected wave of new customers. People started showing up hoping to sit in the same chair or order the same black coffee. It turned into a quiet pilgrimage spot for fans who admired how he handled himself. Yet Johnny Depp never returned to make it a spectacle. He respected the place too much to turn it into a tourist attraction. That choice spoke volumes about his character. As the days rolled on after the incident, more details emerged from witnesses. One woman who sat 2 tables away recorded a short voice note right after it happened, describing the energy in the room. She said you could feel the shift when Johnny Depp spoke. It was not loud or aggressive. It was calm, powerful, and full of life experience. She mentioned how his eyes carried both tiredness and wisdom, like someone who had fought real battles and come out the other side stronger. Another customer, an older gentleman, shared that he had seen many public figures in his time, but none handled disrespect with such quiet dignity. These small accounts added layers to the viral video, making the story richer and more human. It was no longer just a clip. It became a moment that reflected bigger truths about fame, respect, and personal boundaries in the digital age. Johnny Depp's decision to quit the internet in 2026 now looked even wiser in hindsight. The coffee shop drama proved that the world would still find him, but he no longer had to live every second under the microscope of likes, comments, and algorithms. He could choose which moments to engage with and which to simply let pass. At 62, he had earned that freedom. His career had spanned decades, from edgy independent films to blockbuster franchises like Pirates of the Caribbean, where he created one of the most iconic characters in cinema history. Through it all, he stayed true to his artistic soul. Painting, music, and storytelling remained his core. Quitting social media allowed him to dive deeper into those passions without distraction. Friends noticed he was producing more artwork than ever, sending pieces to small galleries under different names just to keep things pure. The viral coffee shop moment also sparked important conversations about fan culture. Many commentators noted how the rude fan represented a growing problem, where people treat celebrities like public property. The entitlement to insult or provoke just for content or clout had become too common. Johnny Depp's response served as a masterclass in setting boundaries without escalating. He did not call the fan out harshly or storm off. Instead, he addressed the behavior directly, then offered a path toward better interaction. That blend of firmness and grace resonated deeply with audiences tired of toxic online dynamics. Teachers shared the clip in classrooms to discuss emotional intelligence. Parents used it as an example with their kids about respecting others, even when you disagree. The impact stretched far beyond entertainment circles. Meanwhile, Johnny Depp continued his quiet life. He traveled to a secluded countryside home where he spent mornings walking through fields and afternoons lost in his studio. Painting became therapy and expression all at once. One piece he worked on during that period reportedly captured swirling dark colors, giving way to lighter tones, symbolizing his own journey through storms into calmer waters. He also picked up his guitar again, playing old blues tunes and writing new melodies that reflected his current state of mind. Music had always been a big part of who he was long before Hollywood called. Away from the internet, he reconnected with that joy without worrying about recording sessions or fan expectations. It was creation for creation's sake. Yet the world refused to let him fade completely. The coffee shop video kept gaining momentum. Edited versions with subtitles in multiple languages circulated widely. Reaction channels broke it down frame by frame, praising Johnny Depp's body language and tone. One popular creator noted how he never broke eye contact, showing confidence without aggression. Another highlighted the way he leaned back in his chair, creating physical space while still engaging. These observations turned the incident into a study of non-verbal communication and emotional control. Even psychologists weighed in, saying Johnny Depp demonstrated traits of someone who had done deep inner work after years of public scrutiny. His composure was not accidental. It came from surviving real-life battles and choosing peace over payback. As weeks passed, the initial shock of the viral drama settled into something more reflective. Fans started creating art inspired by the moment. Digital painting, sketches, and even short stories imagining what might have happened if the conversation continued. Some reached out to the coffee shop, sending letters of support and appreciation for hosting such an unexpected encounter. The rude fan tried to respond with his own video, but it received far less attention and mostly criticism for lacking the same authenticity. Many pointed out that his apology felt forced compared to Johnny Depp's natural grace. The contrast only strengthened the original message. Real strength shows in how you treat people when no cameras are supposed to be watching, even when they are. Johnny Depp's inner circle remained protective. They made sure he stayed focused on his creative projects instead of getting pulled back into the spotlight. One longtime collaborator mentioned in a private conversation that this coffee shop event actually motivated him more. It reminded him why he stepped away in the first place, to live life on his terms. At 62, he was done chasing validation from strangers. He wanted to leave behind work that mattered, whether it was a painting, a song, or simply the example of how to carry yourself with dignity. That mindset influenced everyone around him. Team members started setting their own boundaries with social media, inspired by his choice. It created a ripple effect of healthier habits in his professional world. The broader cultural impact continued to grow. Talk shows discussed the incident without Johnny Depp needing to appear. Experts debated the future of celebrity in an always online world. Some argued that quitting the internet like he did might become more common as people seek relief from constant pressure. Others said his case was unique because of his massive legacy. Either way, the conversation kept circling back to respect. How fans interact with idols, how public figures protect their peace, and how one calm response in a random coffee shop could teach millions a better way. Johnny Depp never asked for any of it, yet he handled the aftermath with the same quiet strength he showed that afternoon. By now, the viral clip had been viewed over 200 million times. It showed no signs of slowing down. Memes, respectful ones, appeared using his exact words as captions. People printed t-shirts with "Strength isn't yelling louder" and "Respect goes both ways." The phrases became gentle reminders in a loud world. Johnny Depp remained unaware of most of it, continuing his routine of coffee painting and reflection. Occasionally, he would hear snippets from friends, but he never dove deep into the online frenzy. That discipline kept him grounded. It proved that walking away from the internet did not mean disappearing from hearts and minds. If anything, it made his rare public moments carry more weight. This coffee shop drama ultimately highlighted the beauty of authenticity in 2026. In an era where everything feels staged or filtered, Johnny Depp delivered something genuine. No PR team scripted his words. No manager staged the encounter. It was simply a man enjoying his day, meeting rudeness with maturity and continuing on his path. His journey from quitting the internet to this unexpected viral moment showed growth, resilience, and a deep understanding of what truly matters. At 62, he was not fading into retirement. He was redefining what a life well lived looks like, choosing peace, creativity, and real human connection over endless digital noise. The world watched, learned, and kept talking because deep down everyone craves that same balance. Johnny Depp reminded us, it is possible even when the spotlight finds you again in the most ordinary places. His story did not end with the video. It simply evolved. The man who stepped away from screens proved that true presence still commands attention. The rude fan became a footnote, while Johnny Depp's calm wisdom became the lasting memory. In small coffee shops around the world, people started treating each other a little kinder, inspired by that one afternoon. Conversations grew more respectful. Boundaries earned more understanding. All because one legend chose to respond with heart instead of headlines. That is the real power of the moment and why it touched so many lives. The coffee shop drama with that rude fan became more than just a viral moment, it became a quiet reminder of who Johnny Depp truly is at 62, a man who walked away from the internet chaos only to show the world that real strength lives in calm, honest words and unshakable dignity. He taught us all that peace is worth protecting. Respect must be earned both ways, and sometimes the most powerful response is simply choosing to stay true to yourself even when the spotlight finds you again in the most unexpected place. Johnny Depp proved once more that legends are not made by noise, but by how gracefully they move through it all. So what do you think about the way Johnny Depp handled that rude fan in the coffee shop? Did his calm response inspire you or change how you see dealing with negativity? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and tell me, would you have stayed as composed as he did at 62? If you quit the internet tomorrow, what would your life look like? Hit that like button. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message today, and subscribe for more real stories about legends who choose peace over noise. See you in the next one. Stay strong, stay real, and protect your peace.